How do you gain respect as a young leader? In today's video inside, I want to share with you the 3 steps that I followed when I began my journey a decade ago. And back then, I was suffering from social anxiety, going through all this low self-esteem. I could barely speak. I used to stutter a lot. To where I'm today, where I speak on stages all across the globe. I've had the chance to meet the president and I impacted millions of people online, and we continue to. And it's all possible if you know how. And that's why I want you to pay close attention, especially to the final one, because this is where most young people trip themselves up. Without further ado, let's go straight on to the first, which is you've got to know your core message. What does that mean? Look at anybody who's creating influence online, offline, and you'll notice how you're associating some form of energy with them. Be it some people online you may follow that you find motivating, you may associate them with hustle, maybe discipline. You see other ones, they tend to be more flowy. You see another one, for example, what I'm known as a follow your heart and take action sort of energy. And you'll notice how with different leaders who really are impacting tons of people, you associate them with a particular form of energy, because the only reason why that happens is because they know themselves. That's the key. If you want to find out your core message, you've got to get great at firstly getting rid of all of this conditioning, getting rid of all of this society's beliefs that's been embedded into your brain, and now you're referring to as myself. This is who I am, quote unquote, when in fact that's a load of BS. You were you before all this conditioning. And so you got to get clear, what do you really stand for? What is your one message? What are people going to refer to you for? What's the energy they're going to feel around you? How are you going to inspire them with that? And the only way that happens is by understanding yourself from the core level. So you've got to begin to peel away the layers of the onion to get to your core truth. And you've got to begin to master yourself. As after all, if you do not lead yourself, if you can't lead yourself, you cannot lead others. And one of the things I do recommend is spend time in solitude. Disconnect from everything, technological devices and so forth. And just spend time in solitude, just doing nothing. And just begin to just uncover, what do I really want my life to be about? Who am I? What's my strengths? What's my weaknesses? You got to get clear in regards to who you really are, because look at any leaders who are young, who are creating huge impact. They've mastered themselves. Their emotional intelligence is super high. And this is how they gain respect, because people can see, wow, this person hasn't just lounged about, watched TV. They can tell that this person, although they're young, they've worked on themselves. They've gotten a lot of experience and results as a result of that. As after all, your outer world is nothing but a reflection of your inner world. So if you do not change this, nothing around you changes. And this is what people who are older than you look for. They look for that emotional intelligence. And that's why you've met somebody who's young before, and you probably guessed their age to be much older because of their emotional intelligence. That's the key. Know your core. You've got to begin to speak from there, and that's how you create people who want to be around you. Because leadership is not about micromanaging, making people, get their work done. Leadership is inspiring other people to become leaders around you, so they're inspired to get the work done because they love you and your message. And the only way that happens is by you being authentic. And after you're authentic, then you got to do the second thing. Once you've figured out your truth, you got to walk it. Have you ever met somebody before who talks, over promises, and when it comes to the crunch, they lack that follow through? How does that make you feel about that person? Well, they are pretty much like a con artist. They're liars. You might as well label them scammers. Because if somebody talks, but they can't walk it, well, they're like a counterfeit. And I say that with best intent at heart, because there's so many people with so much potential, but the problem is they lack that follow through. So do not overpromise if you cannot overdeliver. You got to walk your truth. You got to walk your message. Mahatma Gandhi always said how your life is your message. That's what every single day I remind myself, that my life is my message. The way I live my life today, The way I am in regards to my morning routine, which I'm super strict with, that you've been seeing on Instagram. The reason why I'm so strict with routines, rituals, evening rituals, journaling, you name it, all of these practices. The reason why I am is firstly, I talk about it. Secondly, if I don't do my ritual in the morning, the way I show up, I can't really speak properly. The way I show up, I don't feel like I'm flowing. Remember this, successful people are rewarded in public for something that they've been practicing behind the scenes for many, many years. You've got to have some form of routine that is in line with you, that makes you feel like you're in top form. And you got to represent your message every single day. The way you treat everybody, not just, for example, your team members. You got to be congruent. The way you speak to, for example, a barista at Starbucks, you got to be congruent. You got to give out love if that's your message. If you want to inspire people, inspire everybody. Start inspiring people at home. That's true leadership. You lead yourself, inspire others. That's the key. Walk it every single day. The third thing is one thing. If you want to become a great young leader, it's just like how you create a new startup business. You don't create a startup business by trying to target everybody. No. Even Facebook, they started with their niche market. You want to make sure that you niche down to a particular skill trait or a particular niche that you want to be a leader in. And you make that one thing that you're going to practice every single day. You're going to make that the one thing that you're going to be known for. You're going to make that one thing that you're obsessed about. You can't even sleep because you keep on thinking about it. You make that the one thing that you're going to possess yourself over every single day. And what you'll find over time, people begin to refer to you for that one thing. All the other things, all your weaknesses, guess what? You hire other people. You lead them to become leaders and hire people just like Google who are better than you. And that way they're covering your weaknesses. Don't try to dominate. That's not leadership. Leadership is about teamwork. So you allow people to lead others. Leaders create leaders after all. So you got to get clear, what's your one thing? All the other things, then you delegate. That's the key. Create a team, unity. That is true leadership. So get clear in regards to what you really want to be a specialist in. Because remember, generalists generally earn generalist income, which is not a lot. Specialist is where the money is. So you got to get special in a particular thing in your marketplace. That's the key. These are the 3 things that I did to be able to create more influence as a young leader. Now, the one thing I would add on top of this, which I've not mentioned here, is your ability to influence and communicate, but in particular, communication skills is a must. You watch even my videos, Insider, from 2 years ago on YouTube. Go check it out on my channel, Success Insider YouTube channel. I've actually got some available. And you notice how my speaking skills have changed. One of the key traits, one of the key skills I'll give you right now, habit, is every single day practice speaking. Especially if you've got social anxiety or low self-esteem or shyness issues, that is kind of like how I used to be. I would highly suggest you condition yourself to be an effective communicator. You will not find a single leader who cannot public speak smoothly. You will not find a single leader who cannot voice their opinions in a very structured, clear manner. Communication is everything. Go master it every single day. Go start your own YouTube channel. Go start your Instagram account, whatever it may be. Show up every single day, and after a while, your future self will thank you for it. These are the 3 steps that you can use to be able to gain more respect as a young leader. And by the way, Insider, if you want to follow more behind the scenes, as well as you want to get a glimpse of my rituals that I do every single morning, be sure to follow our Instagram, which is @SuccessInsider. If you're checking out this video on YouTube, you can follow the card that will show up either side of me. Just click on that and it'll take you over to Instagram. And you can check out our stories and everything we publish there. As always, follow your heart, my friend, and take action and go live the life you're truly born to live. See you on the next video soon. Take care.